Welcome back to the Mountain Dew 250 presented on Speed by Dodge. The trucks are rolling off pit lane, about to take on this huge racetrack. A gorgeous day here in Talladega, Alabama. 73 degrees, a slight breeze, sunny skies, and a crowd starting to fill in those grandstands. Our starting grid will roll across the bottom of the screen. Again, Hornaday and Jason White making up row number 1. We want to take a look at our ZMAX track description of this behemoth.
Incredible racetrack here. You see 2.66 miles, 33-degree banking in the corner. And Michael, the apron of the racetrack is banked more than a lot of the racetracks we go to. Wide open speeds here.
When they throw the green flag, though, Phil, the apron is out of bounds. You can't go down there to pass people, so they'll have to keep it up on the track. But there's plenty of room on the track. We could see these trucks 5 wide around this racetrack. It's amazing what you're getting ready to witness.
Will there be a strategy if we take a look at our mother's race analysis?
I think the only strategy is whether you run up front like you were talking about, Michael, or you want to run in the back till late in the race here. You see the pit window 30 to 35 laps. This race is 94 laps, so it just about cuts it into thirds.
Yeah, and when you get in that pit window, you want to pit as soon as you can and be done with it. Tires do not give you a performance advantage here. You want that track position when it gets late in the race. That's your goal, to be up front near the end. But how you get there, who knows? You can do it by laying back or running up front all day long, like you said, Phil.
Here on Speed, we always love to take a look at young drivers coming up through the ranks. And today on our Speed Spotlight, we look at first-time starters in the Camping World Truck Series. Ray.
I want to roll off with number 00. This is Dominic Casola. He's about 23. He's from New Jersey. His daytime job is being general manager at Tri-County Speedway. It's making his very first start in the Camping World Truck Series. Lots of experience in the ARCA division, but today they have a bit of a problem. A corded right front tire. They'll have to pit before 5 laps. They're hoping for an early caution. If that caution comes out, he'll be able to stay on the lead lap. Adam?
Ray, if you're a race car driver from Alabama, there is only one place you would like to make your debut, right here at Talladega. Grant Enfinger living that dream when it comes to NASCAR here this afternoon. He's no stranger to this racetrack. He was here in ARCA twice, both times finishing inside the top 10. He nearly won here in the spring. He hopes some experience today could lead to bigger and better things, perhaps more truck rides in 2011. Krista?
Thanks, Adam. I'm joining you guys on pit road today, and I wanted to talk about Craig Gose. He has experience at this track in the ARCA series. In fact, he finished 4th here in April and finished 2nd overall in the ARCA championship, making his NASCAR, not just truck series, his entire NASCAR debut today. 29 years old. Keep your eye on the number 46, driven by Craig Gose.
And we've got a few cameras that we're going to be riding along with different drivers. One of those will be Jeffrey Earnhardt. He will start 24th in his Chevrolet today.
We're also going to ride along on the Toyota onboard with Kyle Busch. 5 wins already this year, trying to go back-to-back here at Talladega. He will start from the 18th position in that Toyota.
You guys want to ride with a rookie? How about Austin Dillon starting from the third spot in that Bass Pro Shops Tractor Boat Chevy? He's one in the Midwest, Iowa, out west in Vegas. Can he get one in the South here in Talladega? We'll find out and see. We'll be along for the ride.
Obviously, Austin Dillon with a great starting position, but how about on the front row? Jason White will start on the inside of Ron Hornaday, and he'll carry one of our cameras as he starts 2nd today. He might be the underdog that gets to victory lane. The Mountain Dew 250 presented on Speed by Dodge is coming up. Green flag will fly next. Tomorrow we're there for the Chasers' scariest race of the season, Talladega. Kevin Harvick, Casey Kane, Jamie McMurray, and Jimmy Johnson will join us live. NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot live from Talladega tomorrow at 10 Eastern, only on Speed. Welcome back. Look at the high banks here at Talladega. Unbelievable. What a great shot.
Look at Camping World on the infield.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
There's a few of those, isn't there?
What a gorgeous infield. We go back to the infield and pit road for our final thoughts, right?
Well, thank you, Rick. Of course, there are 36 drivers starting the race today, and all of them have a shot to win whenever you come to a track like Talladega. But if I had to bet today, I'm going to bet on either the 30 or the 18. Let's take it to numbers between Rowdy and the Onion. These two guys since 2007 have gone at it on the super speedways. Todd Bodine probably getting the best of that with 4 victories, but Rowdy has been right there in great competition. I think it's going to be one of these two guys that the other 34 are going to have to beat. Krista?
Ray, I'm so glad you talked about numbers because no number is more beloved at any track than the number 3 at Talladega. Dale Earnhardt Sr. scored 9 Cup wins and 1 nationwide wins driving the number 3. But for the first time, a number 3 is on the track in the Truck Series. Austin Dillon has a lot of fans in the stands today. Adam?
Krista, one of the keys to success when you come to a place like Daytona or here at Talladega, stay out of trouble. And it's not totally uncommon to see a driver drop in the back and just ride to avoid the big one, as we call it in the NASCAR world. Johnny Sauter qualified 8th here yesterday. Many believe he could be a player at the end of this race. But prior to the event, his NASCAR official in his pit area radioed up to the tower and said Johnny is elected to start at the back of the field. No unapproved changes, no problems with the truck. He simply wants to stay out of trouble. I just talked to his crew chief, Joe Shear Jr. I said, when do you push the go button? When's the green light on to go to the front? He said, we're going to ride till 20 to go. Phil, Mikey, you've been here many times. What do you think of that strategy?
Well, I did the opening, and I said you could win it either way. I don't know what to do, and that's what these crews are faced with. These teams are faced with. Do you charge all day long, or do you or do you make your odds of missing the crash better by laying back? The problem with that, Phil, is that the action gets more intense as the race goes along. So you wait to 20 to go and try to march to the front. You're going to be in the middle of a hornet's nest. I'd like to be out in front of all that stuff with 20 to go.
Yeah, Michael, right here is why we've added an extra lap. Norm Benning had a problem on the pace lap here, and his truck will not move. They're going to have to hook it up to the record. So they've given us an extra pace lap. You know, and Johnny Sauter obviously has decided to be one of those guys that wants to go to the back. And sometimes, you know, you can start the race if you start up front and you get in trouble before you can get to the back. So he just eliminated all that possibility, went to the back straight away.
Most people just discreetly fade. You know, they throw the green flag, they make a move or two, it doesn't work, and then they say, I think I'll go hang out. Johnny and his team, they just said, I think it's better back there for us. But listen, if you're watching at home, that's what makes this place so fun and so interesting. You got to figure out when to go and what to do with that strategy.
And he can still win this race. There's no question that Johnny Sauter is capable of winning this race no matter where he starts.
You know, Norm Benning can still start this race even though he's got problems and they've got him hooked to the wrecker right now. Because he rolled off of pit road and was on the racetrack ready for the start, he could still start. We've seen him out of the truck already though, so they've got problems. Now we want to go back down to Ray with another story developing before the green flag.
Well, Rick, I think it's important to realize how much goes on in the pits in each and every race, and we'll only have a couple of pit stops today, but these guys will be important. This is Todd Bodine's Valvoline Tundra pit right here, but here's a big advantage for him. Nobody is pitted right in this pit stall exactly in front of him. Lots of other trucks are going to have someone in front and in the rear. An open spot for Bodine and a couple other drivers today could be a big advantage. Adam?
And Ray, when you look at Ron Hornaday's racing resume, pretty amazing. Entering 2010, there were 9 different tracks where Hornaday was yet to record a victory in Camping World Truck Series competition. Well, he crossed one off the list last week at Martinsville, picked up that grandfather clock. I was talking to him about it yesterday here in the garage, and he quickly reminded me Talladega, another where he had not won. You look at a list of tracks, Hornaday well on his way to crossing another off today. He starts on the pole, elects the outside lane, and look who's behind him, Mr. Experience, Ken Schrader. Should be fun to watch the two veterans at one of the great racetracks in NASCAR here this afternoon.